Hey man, every time, bro, I just keep on. It just keeps getting more and more and more embarrassing, for the people who run our country. With this whole like Epstein stuff, it's so ridiculous. You know what I mean? We've had many other presidents who have done foul shit, and they were impeached or they resigned or whatever. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, but Trump, it just seems like he just keeps on thinking he can get away with anything that he wants. So we got ourselves a quick little reaction. It's probably not going to be quick, but Trump's in full panic mode after the Epstein files were unredacted. Now, we all noticed, I've seen a lot of the pictures. There were pictures of babies in sync that were naked. That just tells you what kind of guy this Epstein guy is. Very well-known sex trafficking ring of children. And let's see what's going on, man. Let's see what's going on, man.
Bill Clinton got impeached for a blowjob. Nixon
Facts.
resigned for Watergate. I mean,
Facts.
what is it going to take for Trump to be impeached? Now that he has officially been revealed to be in the unredacted Epstein files, like a lie.
The victim told this driver that she couldn't report.
Oh, shout out to this guy. I haven't seen this guy in a while. What is his name? Adam? I like this guy. He's cool.
Trump because, quote, they will kill me. In 2021, another victim said that Epstein told her girls who don't behave are fed to alligators, which could be alluding to Jeffrey Epstein's island.
After years of stonewalling at this point, Congress forced the DOJ to release the Epstein files. And technically they did because they released part of the Epstein files, which was heavily redacted, like 90%. Entire pages completely blacked out, names hidden, details
Hundreds and hundreds of pictures that were fully like blacked out.
Erased, and they thought they won. But the internet did what the internet does. And online users quickly figured out ways around redaction or to undo the redaction.
I wrote 25 lines of code that can probably unredact all of the Epstein files in less than 30 seconds.
This just shows how incompetent these fucking losers are in our government. Like, I'm just keeping the bean. These niggas are completely incompetent. They're stupid. Or they did this on purpose. So when inside they saw all the bullshit and they're like, you know what? Let's give these niggas a chance to see it, and they redacted it in a way where it could be easily be unredacted. I feel like that is also, I feel like there was just some people who they knew what they was doing with this shit, you know what I mean, to allow this shit to happen. But it's either that, I think it's a little bit of both, but
that was going on in databases and typing in Trump's name with the space behind it because Trump's name without a space was blocked. To be able to see how many times his name is mentioned in the Epstein files. Or using code or other software to export the redacted Epstein file into another software and it completely removes the redaction.
Oh, look at this pesky redaction. Let's just get rid of that.
And what
anybody, I'm telling you guys, anybody can do this. Anybody can do that. Like, you can do that.
Once that started happening, things got ugly quick. But for however bad people thought it would be when they finally got to see the Epstein files, it was much worse.
The unredacted Epstein files are getting even worse.
What they said?
Imagine when like the day, and it's gonna happen, where this whole shit gets fully like released, no redaction, no censoring. By the way, the victims do not care if this shit comes out. They don't fucking care. They've literally been pushing for the Epstein files to get released. I don't know why people are defending Trump and saying, oh, well, Trump, he doesn't want the victims. The victims have already openly said they did not give a fuck. So release them, nigga.
Multiple files released all point the finger at Donald Trump. Girl reported that Trump and Epstein would pay her to do things to them when she was 13, and eventually she got pregnant. Her uncle was in on it too, so Trump and her uncle made sure the baby didn't make it.
Not to mention the way the Epstein files have been handled.
That is insane. That is sick, bro. Donald Trump got a girl pregnant, bro. And then forced the bro. Oh my gosh. The amount of trauma that these women and these children have gone through is truly fucking insane.
Dude denied, lied about.
None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday.
This motherfucker was on a podcast talking about there's some weird conspiracy shit going on. This Epstein guy, he's real. It's weird, man. Apparently the government has access to all this. And then all of a sudden he bitched out because, one, I feel like Donald Trump wanted him to take the fall for this Epstein shit because he's Indian. I think that's why I'm sorry, you guys, but, Donald Trump is a racist piece of shit, so I wouldn't be surprised if you did that. But like, This guy and that other guy, he was like they were like talking as if they had all these files and shit, and then as soon as they get into office, all of a sudden it just doesn't exist. It's a hoax. It's not fucking real.
To other individuals.
I don't know.
And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files.
In the case file.
This has become a federal government-wide cover-up to protect Trump.
The FBI and DOJ are on the same page and say, well, there's millions of more files coming out. Where it's just like, wait a second. Yeah. I thought the files used to be on Pam Bondi, and I saw Patel said there was nobody else that was a part of these files and no co-conspirators.
No. They straight up said that the Epstein files were a hoax. It's not real. It was Hillary and Obama. It was them. They created this conspiracy to make me no. Donald Trump is genuinely a con man, a fascist, a child rapist, a groomer. He is sick in every way. He's obsessed with money. All he cares about is himself. You know what I mean? He was raised by his father, who was known to be in the KKK. And this is and the fact that these people in our government are so terrified of Trump to where they comply to everything that he does is so fucking sickening, bro.
All that shit is capped. So I need both of y'all in peace and in prison like that.
But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it. We are governed by the dumbest people in America.
They're fucking stupid.
Unredact some of the files so easily.
I wrote 25 lines of code that can probably unredact all of the Epstein files in less than 30 seconds. Really not that crazy. All it does is take a PDF and turns it into a Microsoft Word doc, because the Microsoft Word doc just completely removes all this black line right here. So took
Blue Monkey 123
0.2 seconds to do 2 documents. Before I end the video, I would just like to mention that I am not suicidal. I am a great...
Facts. Oh yeah, I am not suicidal. I'm in great shape. I work out. I eat healthy. I drink smoothies. You know what I mean? I go to the doctor. You know what I mean? I actually have a eye appointment tomorrow. So if just want to let y'all know, if there was ever a story that says that, I would hurt myself or anything like that, I promise you that wasn't the fucking case.
Swimmer, and I look forward to living my life well into my 80s.
I think we all know that this is probably the worst, most unqualified leadership we've ever had in the federal government, at least at one time. And they brought in a bunch of their own people that had no clue what they were doing, which is how you get stuff like this. The federal government sloppily redacting files and releasing them, not knowing that basically the file can be jailbroken, and those unredactions can be moved in a bunch of different ways.
Oh, look at this pesky redaction.
But you think, being the #1 strongest government in the world, they would even allow this shit to even get passed? Really think about that shit. And that's why there's a part of me that's there's some people who obviously knew that people were able to do this shit, or at least figure out some way, and they didn't. That's why I think and that's what I kind of think too. You know what I mean? Maybe it's to keep us distracted long enough, but I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. This shit is sickening, bro. How is Donald Trump not impeached? How did Donald Trump get in office after January 6th when he tried to overthrow the government? It's ridiculous, man.
Let's just get rid of that. That is insane.
But you could tell our government is panicking if they're letting shit like this slide. They're fucking panicking. They're terrified. They know they're cooked, bro.
This is what happens.
All of them.
A copy and paste into a Word document is insane. But like she's saying, that's what happens when you basically fire federal employees that know their jobs and how to do them, and bring in incompetent people that are just loyalists. So I honestly don't know how much of this I'm even going to be able to put or say on YouTube and still keep this video monetized. I've had videos demonetized for absolutely nothing, let alone talking about the president and the Epstein files. But to basically sum up what was revealed in the Epstein files, there are 2 different situations of 13-year-old girls saying they were SA'd by Donald Trump.
They saying bro was sleeping with a 13-year-old girl repeatedly, then impregnated her.
I don't know. This picture is so creepy. They kind of look alike. Think about that. Hold on. They kind of look alike. I mean, Donald Trump is more fat, but You know what I mean? And he has no lips, and he's morbidly obese, fat. He's dying. He's got all these medical conditions. He's balding. Yeah, he has a little pussy on his neck. Yeah, man.
Then these two went on a boat in Lake Michigan with that girl's uncle. She had the kid. Then they threw the kid overboard. I'm just the messenger, son. I'm just saying what the files say. And this is a different case than the other case. And this.
But why are people like, why are people so terrified of Trump? I don't get this. Like, he fired a lot of the people in our government and threw in a bunch of incompetent people, but it's like, even still, like, how do you, like, I don't know.
This one is a different from the other possible. That's two. And these are only 5% of the files released. And we already getting these type of stories. And they say there's millions more? Oh, shit.
Yeah,
your
there's
boy's
over a
fucking
million.
cooked, son.
But I mean, you see this tweet. Defendant Trump initiated contact with plaintiff at 4 different parties. Plaintiff loudly pleaded with defendant Trump to stop, but with no effect.
The unredacted Epstein files are getting even worse.
What'd they say?
Multiple files released all point the finger at Donald Trump. Reported that Trump and Epstein would pay her to do things to them when she was 13, and eventually she got pregnant. Her uncle was in on it too, so Trump and her uncle made sure the baby didn't make it. So her uncle threw her baby into the river. And Trump was there as it happened.
Why wasn't this released in the first version?
Pam Bondi illegally released the Epstein files with redacted versions and tried to cover everything up, but then people learned how to unredact and the files that are getting stated right now are coming straight from the DOJ and FBI's files right off of their website, which they took down when they learned they accidentally had.
Oh yeah, them taking it down just shows more proof that these niggas are just incompetent and they're retarded. They did not mean for this to happen. There's just no way, bro. Like, there's just no fucking way, bro. It's ridiculous, bro. This our government? These are the people who are supposed to protect us from Russia and North Korea? These people? This shit is fucking stupid.
There was also a driver for Trump who a woman ran into. The driver was telling her stories about Trump, and she said he did things to me when I was 13. So the driver told her to report it to the FBI, but she said, I can't because he'll kill me if I do. But then she called the FBI anyway.
Why wasn't the FBI doing anything about it?
Well, here's the crazy thing. When the girl told the driver the story, she had a friend in the car too. And the next time the friend saw the driver asked where she was, and her friend said that she was found alive by a gun wound, giving the FBI no further leads on this case, which actually ties back to Katie Johnson, who sued Trump for when she was 13. And Katie Johnson claimed the same story, but never showed up to court after suing Trump and disappeared, and her lawyers never heard from her again either.
And still,
oh yeah, it just happens that they just all died. One of the victims who was advocating like to push these files out, she died like the beginning of this year, right? Like, what the fuck? No. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not just Trump, and it's not just the Republicans. It's also the Democrats. It's our entire government, right? It's also the billionaire elites that are involved. They're terrified, and that's why they're stealing as much money as they can, so they can flee to their billionaire cities and billionaire island and into their colony in Mars. You know, that's why they're doing that shit, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's really what it is, bro. But don't worry, y'all. Don't worry, y'all. We will take back our government, and we will fix this country brick by brick, you know, and, yeah.
Still nothing is happening. America is done. I have lost faith. It's just sickening. Again, when you put in context that Bill Clinton was impeached for having sexual relations, and I guess lying about it, with a full-grown consenting adult. But you have all of these documents coming directly from the government, from the FBI, from Department of...
The thing is, though, is Bill Clinton is involved with this shit, too. That's the crazy part. So it's like...
Justice, which they've had in their possession, listing all of these sick and depraved allegations, and nothing is happening. It makes you just aware of how twisted and sick of a timeline that we're in. Not to mention, there are people in MAGA actually defending Trump and acting like they don't care what comes out. Children had them killed and staged their deaths. And this is how I kind of feel, and I think this is how a lot of people feel about this. With something so terrible being made public, how can Donald Trump, Kash Patel, Bondi, all of the people that were covering this up for him not be facing immediate and severe consequences right now? How can they still be in their public offices? Genuinely so depressing that nothing will come from this. He will face zero.
The problem, the one thing and this isn't me advocating for violence or nothing like that. I don't advocate for violence or nothing like that. This is not what I'm trying to do, right? But the thing is that you can't rely on the people in our own government to do something about it. You know what I mean? I mean, yes, you can, but there's only so much that they can do. And like I said, Trump has been getting away with a bunch of bullshit this entire term, even in his first term, the past few decades, his whole life, he's been getting away with this kind of shit. Like, really think about that. Like, it gets to a point where I truly believe that there will be a revolution, and you know, Donald Trump, he's dying. Bill Clinton, he's anytime about to, he's about to pass away. He's old as fuck. These people, like, they don't care, right? They're gonna, like, it's just ridiculous,
No
man.
consequences for this shit. He's gonna face consequences. I think they're all gonna face consequences.
They all.
Because eventually Democrats will come back into power.
And that's my problem right there. The Democrats probably won't do shit either, because they could have easily done something themselves. You know what I mean? They could have easily done something about it, right? But the Democrats are also involved in this shit. So you can't rely on the people in our government to do this shit. You know what I mean? Right? You know what I mean? Sometimes, like I said, if keep on protesting, but if our government were ever to get to a point where they start offing people to keep secrets, that's when we have to step, the people have to step in and keep exposing this shit. You know what I mean? So that these people can get removed. You know what I mean? But look, these people, they're not going to leave quietly. They will go out guns and blazing, bro. I'm just going to be honest, bro. They are not going to walk off their offices easily. And if they do, I mean, it's because they're pussy.
They will eventually have the House again. They will have the presidency. These people will pay for the things.
But you can't rely on the Democratic Party to do something about this shit, bro.
That they've done and covered up, just like the Nazis had to pay for their sins eventually. But with all of this happening, all these documents being unredacted and finally,
not saying that there aren't Democrats that want to do that shit, but I'm just saying you can't rely on the government to enforce action against its own people. Because the biggest problem with this country is that billionaires run the country. You have people from outside the country that have influence in our country. Those are the problems with our country. And if we keep voting for billionaires, if we keep voting for people who, who aren't for the people, it's going to get worse.
Seeing the light of day, and these atrocious details of what Trump is being accused of have come out. Trump basically went in panic mode over Christmas, tweeted a whole bunch of stuff about the Epstein files, went back to calling it a Democratic hoax, because remember, at one time it wasn't real, it didn't exist at all. They've changed their story so many times about this. But basically, he's had a non-stop crash out online about the Epstein files, and even bombed Nigeria to try to take our attentions off of.
Yeah, it's all a distraction, bro. They're just doing anything they can to distract you. I mean, let's be honest, bro. This country, right? Like, hey, I don't know, bro. It's just weird, bro.
What's coming out right now from the President of the United States. Merry Christmas to all, including the many sleazebags who love Jeffrey Epstein. You gave him bundles of money, went to his island, attended his parties. He must have been tweeting this looking in the mirror and thought he was the greatest guy on earth. Trump was said to be Epstein's best friend, only to drop him like a dog when things got too hot. Falsely claimed they had nothing to do with him, didn't know him, said he was a disgusting person. Trump did all of those things. And then blame, of course, President Donald J. Trump, who actually was the only one who did drop Epstein, and long before...
I'm pretty sure he was not the only fucking one, buddy.
Before it became fashionable to do so. Such a weird thing to tweet on Christmas Day. When their names get...
Yeah, it's Christmas, nigga. Go spend time with your fucking 40-year-old fucking man-child, your son. Go spend time with him, fuck nigga.
Brought out in the ongoing radical left witch hunt, plus one low-life Republican Massey, and it is revealed that they are Democrats all, there will be a lot of explaining to do. The main Democrat that's been named in the Epstein files is Bill Clinton, who has said publicly multiple times that he's fine with releasing the full Epstein files.
The reason why he's doing that is because he's bluffing. He doesn't think Trump is gonna do it because Trump is pussy.
So that the victims get justice. Trump is the only one against releasing the Epstein files, even going so far refusing to admit that they were even real.
All right, Donald Trump just sent out yet another unhinged holiday post about the Epstein files, and I want you all to say it with me. The Epstein files are the largest cover-up since Nixon's Watergate, even larger than Nixon's Watergate in size.
Probably the biggest, this whole Epstein shit is the biggest most corrupted bullshit that this country has probably ever done, other than, you know, black slavery and oppression amongst black people.
Scale, and urgency. I mean, we have multiple government departments, from the FBI to the DOJ to Donald Trump's own executive circle, all working in unison to cover up the Epstein files and protect the Epstein class. Yashar Ali says, President Trump once again refers to the Epstein
class being billionaire class
files as a, quote, democratic hoax, which in and of itself is disgusting. He's really politicizing it to a unique degree. The reason the Epstein files matter, and it's such a major issue, is because Trump's top allies made it so during the campaign and promised that the files would be released. I mean, the reason that it really matters is because we want the survivors to have, you know, clarity. We want them to have justice. But at the end of the day, Trump is the one. His campaign was the one that promised to release the files.
I'm telling you, Donald Trump is not going to back down. If he tried to overthrow the government in January 6th, what makes you think? You really don't think he's gonna try and be a dictator? You really don't think that? You really think Trump is joking with this shit, bro? No, like, he genuinely is a child PDF file. He's sick in every way of his aspect in life. He's a racist. He's a con man. And, like, that's just the reality of this guy, man. He's a big fat ass baby. He's a nepo baby. He's literally a fucking nepo baby. His father gave him $5 million, nigga. And he still went bankrupt 7 times. How the fuck does that happen?
So Trump then says, the day after Christmas, quote, now 1 million more pages on Epstein are found. DOJ is being forced to spend.
We found 1 million more, guys. We found 1 million more. We didn't see these before. We just, you know, like,
and all of its time on this Democrat-inspired hoax. When do they say no more and work on election fraud? Okay, so Epstein is a hoax in Donald Trump's eyes. Meanwhile, election fraud is something that is very serious and urgent, and apparently there's...
Yeah, the guy that tried to overthrow the government on January 6th is complaining about election fraud, y'all. Like,
widespread proof of in Trump's eyes. There's no proof of this whatsoever. This exclusive from CNN says the DOJ is scrambling. The Justice Department's leadership has asked career prosecutors in Florida to volunteer over the next several days to help redact the Epstein files in the Trump admin's latest push towards releasing hundreds of thousands of photos, even though they have already broken the 2 criteria that they were supposed to follow. The 2 criteria were this: release all of the files on the 30-day deadline, and all of the files need to have reasonable redactions. Well, they didn't release all of the files. They released like 30% of them, if that, and the redactions were not reasonable. We had hundreds of pages fully blacked out. Meanwhile, some victims' names were still left there. It is insane. It's also really weird.
But we have to protect the victims, though. I thought we had to protect the victims, you know. What happened to protecting the victims, y'all? Like, these people are so fucking stupid,
that
bro.
in Trump's Christmas post yesterday...
I mean, Donald Trump does have dementia, so I'm not surprised.
He ended it off with, enjoy what may be your last Merry Christmas. President DJT. I'm not even making this up. Look at the last line here says, enjoy what may be your last Merry Christmas. President DJT. Why is our president sending us threatening Christmas holiday messages? What the hell?
I've been saying this is the most unprofessional administration we've ever had. The vice president making no more white guilt speeches. And the United...
Oh my God, bro. And then you got motherfuckers like Nicki Minaj showing up at Turning Point USA, bro. Like,
States of America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore.
To everybody just tweeting like they're on their private accounts when they're tweeting from federal government accounts. That's what's known as the consciousness of...
Bro, JD Vance is basically saying, just be unapologetically racist, bro. Just be an open racist. That's literally what the fuck he's saying.
Guilt. This whole entire tweet was. The walls are closed.
Nah, I'm not one of those people that look at a white person like, oh, you need to help pay reparations. I don't think of it like that. I think most white people don't agree with this shit. You know what I mean? Of course, as a white person, I don't give a fuck. As long as you're not against reparations, you're fine, buddy. I'm gonna be honest with you. Other than that, you know what I mean? But like, Yeah.
In on Donald Trump and his corrupt criminal regime, and he is absolutely losing his mind. Merry Christmas. Epstein survivor reacts to Donald Trump's latest post about Jeffrey Epstein. Every accusation is a confession. Cheers. At this point, it is. Our miserable president is rage tweeting about Jeffrey Epstein on Christmas. He's calling it a Democrat hoax again and threatening lawmakers. Trump is 100% guilty. That is how guilty people act. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. I thought this had to be fake, but it isn't. I don't even know what to say besides this man is completely, desperately insane and freaked out beyond anything that has ever scared him before.
Donald Trump is dying. One, right? Like Donald Trump is his mental health is declining. He has dementia. He has to take dementia tests. He has to solve the difference between a lion, an elephant, and a tiger. Oh, that's the elephant. That is what Donald Trump is going through. You know what I mean? He's, even when you see him, like reporters like talk to him, he you notice he became a lot more aggressive. He's like, shut up, don't ask about the Epstein files, shut up. Okay.
To do this on,
hey, this is y'all great king, Donald Trump. Your great glorious king.
Christmas is 100 times crazier. Holy moly. Right. And again, if we're talking about who attended Jeffrey Epstein parties, it would be Trump. And we've all known that. Tweeting about attending Jeffrey Epstein parties when you are at his parties on film, grabbing women, touching them up, kissing them, pointing at them with Jeffrey Epstein next to you. All of that is crazy work. This is our president. Oh my. Mark Epstein, Jeffrey's brother, just confirmed to me that he did, in fact, send this report.
It would be one thing if Donald Trump wasn't a PDF file, he wasn't a con man, he was truly a good person, and he was just a womanizer. That's one thing, but like it just there's gotta be a universe out there that's like that, where Donald Trump is a good person, but that universe probably doesn't exist. Okay.
But to the FBI in February 2023, declaring his belief that Donald Trump authorized the of Jeffrey. So there's nothing fake or hoax about this. If people that are alive are confirming that this documentation is 100% real and genuine, and they did say these things. And going back to the story about this woman named Dusty, this is real. This actually happened. The mainstream media won't report it because it's basically owned by Peter Thiel and other oligarchs. That's what our billionaires are at this point. They're just oligarchs. And again, it's telling the story of a woman whose death was ruled after she confessed to somebody that she did speak to the FBI about being by Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. Dispose of body next to the president's name. The White House has now taken over social media accounts of the DOJ to protect him. Asking MAGA and Republicans when.
Yeah, our government is desperate. Our government is desperate. Our government is declining. Our country is declining because of this Epstein hoax, because these old ass boomers don't want to let go of their fucking power, but it's these people, they're terrified, man. And then you got these white supremacist billionaires who want to keep white people on top only and keep this turn this nation into a white Christian nation and shit. It's ridiculous, man. It's crazy. Donald Trump doesn't pay taxes. He gets to build a ballroom with his own money. Oh, yeah, sure, buddy.
And is it enough? Why are you silent? Crazy that this cult around MAGA and Trump is so strong. Because why would you back or support anybody that had any of these allegations to their names? Everybody who voted.
These people are not real, bro.
For Trump should be the ones up in arms right now. That they got betrayed, that they got sold snake oil by a con man. But instead, they're just going to double down. They're just going to dig their heels and support Trump no matter what.
It's one thing if you voted for Trump and you're like, oh, damn, oh, he's a con man. Okay, you fell for the trap. It happens. Everybody falls for propaganda. It's a thing. You know what I mean? But if you're still if you still support Trump in any way, just shut the fuck up and don't talk to me.
But he's going to have to be taken out the White House in handcuffs with video evidence of things that he's done in order for them to ever believe any of this is real or admit it. The new documents that Congress has forced the Justice Department to release make one thing clear. We are witnessing a criminal White House cover-up. White House, FBI, DOJ.
We need to protest. We need to keep speaking on these issues. Don't stop talking about this. Don't forget about it. Don't let the government make you think this isn't real or none of that bullshit. This shit is very real. and they are doing anything they can to stay in power. This is all this is about. They don't care about you, bro. They just don't care. You know what I mean? These people, they're arguing over who gets to have SNAP benefits and who don't. They're like, it's just insane, man. You know, we're losing all of our soft power. China is surpassing us, or is going to surpass us at any day. You know, like it's ridiculous. If this country would really thrive if these people introduce socialism with this capitalism. If like it don't make sense. I mean, we pay for healthcare, if you can even afford it, right? It's ridiculous, man. But yet they're trying so hard. And this is me shitting on the Republicans. This is me shitting on the left too. I don't like the left either. I'm not a Democrat. I'm neither side, right? I don't give a fuck about all that shit. Like, they're all corrupted. They're all pieces of shit. They don't want this shit to come out. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous, man. These people, you know, it's so sad, man. It's so sad. It's so pathetic. You know what I mean?
This is a federal-wide cover-up at this point. We are witnessing a criminal cover-up by the White House unfolding in real time. For months, Trump refused to release the Epstein files. Now he's working alongside Pam Bondi to defy Congress and break the law. His cronies have shown that they will go to any length to protect Trump. They all need to be arrested and prosecuted. And I hope they will be once the power shifts and norms are restored. This is one of the biggest corruption scandals in U.S. history, bigger than Watergate 100 times. Nixon wasn't accused of or killing anybody, let alone multiple cases of that. Pam Bondi and Kash Patel both need to be in jail. So Kash Patel lied under oath. That's a crime. Earlier this year, Kash Patel testified under oath that internal files contain no credible information. Epstein trafficked young women to anyone other than himself. Today, Department of Justice released internal emails referring to 10 co-conspirators, which immediately contradicts Kash Patel.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files?
In the case file.
Yo, Cash, you just need to resign, bro. You just need to resign. You just need to quit, bro. Dude, like, genuinely just quit. You're just so fucking useless. Like, you're just a puppet for these fucking weirdos. Like, just resign, bro. Like, genuinely, you're so sick to me. You know what I mean? You're a disgrace, man. You're a disgrace to Indian people. And the reason why I'm saying that is because all these motherfuckers on Twitter that are making fun of you because you're Indian and are telling you to go fuck yourself and take your foreign god out of my nation, even though Jesus Christ is a foreign god, because conservatives are fucking retarded. And, you know, like, it's ridiculous to me. Just resign, bro. Stop allowing yourself to get humiliated just so you can keep a bunch of rich white billionaire elite safe, bro. Just quit your fucking job, bro. Genuinely.
And it keeps going. The FBI paid nearly $1 million in overtime to redact Epstein files, documents show. Donald Trump is so guilty. They're paying $1 million in overtime to redact files.
Only $1 million? You only paying them $1 million? How many government workers we got in that bitch?
Like I said, it was like 90% redacted. Entire pages just blacked out with no justification, just to protect Trump. Jeffrey Epstein wrote a letter.
Which is still sick, because it's like, these people who are getting paid, they're like taking the money. You know what I mean? Like, bro, that's how you know this is bad, bro. You're literally paying people in our government to cover up shit is insane.
To Larry Nassar before committing, saying our president shares our love of young nubile girls. Nubile is. Words can't explain how fucking wild this headline is. Got two of the most
Say nigga. Come on, don't be scared. Nigga got two of the most higher profile PDF files in recent American history. Say nigga.
In recent American history, right in jail.
Nah, I'm trolling, bro. Chill on Jew Almighty, bro.
Letters just saying he's just like us for real. While he was in office and saying that this is our president, still, keep in mind, this is only a portion, like I think 15 to 20%, maybe 30% of the files that have been released, meaning there are millions more pages that have to come out because Congress is forcing them to release it. The fact that no Republicans can admit how—
Shout out to all the people in our government that are pushing for this shit. Shout out to all of them, bro.
How bad this is, can see how bad this is, that are willing to stand up and say, I don't want this man to be my president, and cross the aisle to get a simple majority of votes to impeach Donald Trump. Keep in mind, impeaching isn't even the same as convicting. Just impeaching him would at least say that you understand that this is wrong and you are on the right side of history. But MAGA Republicans,
no, Donald Trump doesn't need to just get impeached. He needs to go to prison. Which it's too late at this point to do that, because you know what I mean. But honestly, who gives a fuck? Who cares?
Won't do it. They will continue to defend him, turn a blind eye, act like this is a hoax, when I think we're living in one of the craziest times in U.S. history, where if just one of these accusations are true would be terrible, let alone all of them. But shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting,
and the fact that people are still defending this man is so insane. But you know, hey, look, I don't know, man. What do y'all think down in the comments down below? What y'all think about this whole situation? I think this is sick, disgusting. This is very against what this country should represent, which is a nation where everybody gets treated equally, everybody gets tried fairly, regardless of how much money they make. You know what I mean? And another thing, we just need to stop, you know, voting for people who support billionaires. We need to stop voting for people who, you know what I mean, that are billionaires. We need to stop voting for people who are willing to sell themselves out for another country. You know, our country has been compromised, and it's because of countless of decades of this shit being allowed in our country, and everybody needs to stand and unite and attack the billionaire class. But instead, you know what I mean, you got these white supremacists who want to keep this nation majority white, which is just only going to, it does not work. You're not even benefiting from white supremacy. Elon Musk is, Donald Trump is, Jeff Bezos is, Mark Cuban's is. They benefit from this shit. You know what I mean? They benefit from it. You know what I mean? Not you dumbass nigga. But what do y'all think, man? You know what I mean? This is insane, man. This is really pissing me off. But I hope you have a good breakfast, a good dinner, a good night. I love y'all, man. Peace.